Welcome everybody to Beyond the Barricade. I am your host, Papa Dank, and I hope everyone's having a great day today. And without further ado, let me bring to you my very special guest, the one and only Dorian Vane. What's up, bud?
How you doing?
Good, man. How's it going down there?
Oh, it's going all right, man. How you doing today?
Hanging in there, man. Excited to be talking to you.
Excited to be here.
Good. Before we start, let's go into the camera's acting up. Some upcoming events you got going on. Let's start with this.
Yes, I got Alpha Wrestling Association in Greenville, Mississippi, this Saturday night.
That is
Then I have MCW this Friday night in Osceola, Arkansas.
MCW. They got an event coming up on 10/23, a benefit for
Yes.
MCW.
Yeah, they had a benefit. I think 10/23. It was like this upcoming Sunday.
Okay. All right. Hello. All right. Let's start off with how you fell in love with professional wrestling.
I fell in love with professional wrestling when I was a kid growing up. My grandma, she was really into Mid South Coliseum, Power Pro, and all that stuff out here in Memphis. And she would have us watch it, take us to shows every once in a while to the Mid South Coliseum. So it was really cool to go around and see it. And I started watching growing up and everything else.
Okay.
But I
Awesome.
really fell in love with it when uh, when I had when I took my first bump. To be honest with you, when I took the first bump, that's when I was like, I'm hooked. This is gonna be great.
Okay. Who were some of your favorites growing up?
My favorites growing up were what's his name? Yeah, my favorites growing up. It was funny. Chris Benoit. I know it's a weird thing to say. Chris Benoit.
Okay.
It was Kurt Angle, and it was Taz. Those are my favorites growing up.
Taz. I love Taz, man. Awesome. All right. Let's go into when did you decide that, hey, this is the field I want to be in? Where did you go train, and who were your trainers during that initial training?
You see, when I was way younger, I
Uh
was always I wanted to do it then at a super young age. And then later on, I ended up joining the military and everything else. And I was there for like 12 years. I was in the service for with Afghanistan and everything else. And I was like, during that time, I was, in May fighting and everything else, kickboxing.
Right.
And then I was like, after I got deployed, I was like, man, I didn't die. So I was like, I need to.
That's good.
So I need to go and do something that I know and I love the most, and something that I know that when it came to that I know I always wanted to do,
Mhm.
and I decided to go to the Wrestle Center. And it's kind of a fun. It's how I started. Really is a kind of an old school professional wrestling thing.
Mhm.
I was at a gym. I was working out, and I ended up meeting Martin, which is also known as Precious.
Okay.
And I was working out in the gym doing some leg raises, and I see him. I mean, have a conversation. Next thing you know, he tells me about Memphis wrestling, and I end up getting trained at the Wrestle Center by Derek King and Alan Steele.
Okay. All right. And how was that initial training for you?
The initial training was all right. Derek, who I love and care about, that's my guy. And Alan Steele, he's a super awesome trainer. He was actually, to be honest with you, the main trainer because he kind of really does a lot of psychology stuff. Derek, if you kind of mess up, he'll cuss you. So
Okay. Awesome.
it's kind of like a good dynamic, I would say.
Right. We have Angel who's joining us from the nail salon right now.
How you doing, Angel?
See, man, they want to watch you even while getting their nails done. All right, let's go into your first professional match. Who was your first opponent, and what were your thoughts during that first match?
My first match was actually in MCW. It wasn't in Memphis Wrestling. It was actually MCW. It was a 6-man tag match. It was me, a guy named Ray Collins, and I can't remember the other guy's name, versus Big Red, Outsider, and Derek King. It was a 6-man tag match.
All
And
right.
my second match that I guess you can kind of can say. It was me and Ray Collins in a tag match with the Hot Shots, and they were the Hot Shots.
All right. And how was it when you went through your first match? Like, how did you see it? What were some of the
I was a deer
emotions
in
you had?
headlights for my first match. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was a deer in headlights. I was like, man, what am I supposed to be doing? Because I had no clue. It was like my first match, so I was like, thankful we had a manager. He was like, man, get in there, do this and this. Okay, cool. And the funny part about the match is that when I got into I was super excited. So when I first get tagged in, there was Derek. Derek was taking heat, and I stopped Derek. I go to stop Derek. He's selling. He goes, "Don't ever hit me that way again." And it goes right back to selling. Me and Derek started getting back into it. It was. But my first match was definitely nerve wracking because I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't comfortable yet. I didn't know who I was at that time. I went even by a different name. My name during that time was Adonis Vane, and I was like, and during that time I was a super aggressive, crazy eyed character. Then I ended up over time evolving into who I am now.
Okay. So what specific time, like, did you convert to Dorian Vane? Like, was there a
I
reason for it?
converted to Dorian, and then I went from Dorian to Jason Vane. And
Okay.
then how I knew when I left Memphis Wrestling is when I knew that I needed to create a character that's more me
Mhm.
on the inside, that's more of my dynamic of myself. So when
Yeah.
I'm going from Mr. Crazy Eyes to a lot more crap talking, a lot more showboating, a lot more of the berating of individuals and everything else. So that really was when I transitioned to that. I felt a lot more comfortable because I felt exactly this is who I am at this point in time. Of course, I made little
Right.
tweaks here and there, but the how I am as Dorian Bain is definitely me.
Okay. So how is Dorian Vane? What type
Dorian
of person is Dorian Vane?
Dorian Bain is kind of a I think it's kind of a topic that I created myself. I don't know, hot boy,
Uh,
monster heel is what I kind of like put him in the category of.
uh,
But no, to be honest with you, I got the character. Really, the synopsis of it is like a WCW Rick Rude, because
okay.
Rick Rude when had the mullet, he was in WWE.
Right.
He was this big showboating. He was more of a body guy during that time. No body hair. He had the
Right.
long hair and everything else. But he transitioned to WCW. He had body hair. He wasn't. He was a lot more aggressive. He still would have the same mannerisms as he did in WWE, but it was a lot more of the aggressiveness, a lot more in your face type of attitude. And how he would perform in his matches was a lot. It was a good combination of the two. So that really was the basis of it, and that, and a little bit of Rick Martel and a little bit of Ric Flair, just kind of a melting pot of the Dorian Bain character.
Okay. All right. All right. What has been your toughest match so far, and with whom,
Toughest
and
match, Derek
and
King.
why?
Derek King. Derek is definitely my toughest. I would say my toughest match is with Derek King. And the reason why I say Derek is because with Derek, I learned a whole lot when it comes to wrestling Derek. I learned definitely taking my time, definitely certain cues, and definitely the fact of having to make everything make sense. And if it does not make sense, and if you don't perform it the way how it's supposed to go for it to make sense, then certain other things will go into something else. Like I missed something with Derek, and then he had to ad lib something when it came to me, which caused me to, it didn't cause it to go awry. It was still everything was great and covered up, but it was just a simple fact of I had to learn that had to be to take my time, and also had to learn how to be a lot more on the level of how can I say this? To be Yeah, actually, to be honest with you, just take my time. Because if I take my time, I'll be able to see everything versus just trying to rush into something. Because
Okay.
to get into what? So when I stopped trying to rush into getting something else, when I started taking my time and listen to the crowd, that's when things started to click a little bit more. So I
Okay.
would say Derek's the toughest, but it's also the one that I kind of learned the most from. Him and Serpent, Harry. I learned a lot from
Aaron.
those.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Tell me about an opponent you want to wrestle, but you haven't wrestled yet. Who is the
Oh, yeah.
opponent
Does it has to be
and why?
local? Like,
Could be anybody. We'll give you a couple. Choose a couple.
okay. Um, I'd say in the local area, I want to wrestle GL Savage for sure.
Okay.
And I would say outside of the local area, I would like to wrestle. Huh. Oh, Roderick Strong. I would definitely like to wrestle Roger Strong. Actually, I got to meet Roger Strong, and I think it'd be super cool to wrestle him, seeing him in person. Yeah, Roger Strong and Geo Savage. I think it'd be cool to wrestle both of those guys. Oh,
Gotcha.
and the Crowleys. I'm sorry, I added a third one, but Jackson
Okay.
Crowley would be so super cool to wrestle him.
Okay. All right. I'm a fan of Roderick. I heard a good Roderick story when he was in the Indies a long time ago, where
Oh,
someone
really?
puts like some Bible quotes in his bag, and he had gotten trashed that night.
Oh no.
And when he got home the next day, it was like a sign for him to stop drinking or something.
Yeah,
he
because it was
didn't.
funny.
He didn't. He didn't know the guys played a rib on him.
Oh, that's so messed up. Because it was because we met. I ended up meeting Roger Strong at a Mickey James seminar.
Oh,
And during that point, it was at MCW out there in Maryland. It was like a 3-day master class,
mm,
and the next to last day, no, the last actually it was past the last day, but they had like a bunch of autograph signings there, like a convention type thing. And Matt and Jeff
right,
Hardy was there, Melina was there, so it was super cool. And we were, I was, he was. Okay, how the story went was, we were walking around and. We were out there talking. He saw us talking. He asked us questions about the bathroom. And I was like, yeah. And then after he asked us questions about the bathroom, I asked him a question real quick. And he was telling me about all the stuff that he had to do to take care of everything. How do you, when it came to him wrestling, I was like, how do you stay so physical in
right.
wrestling? And he
Mm,
was like, in his style, he was like, man, I had to do it throughout the time of my career just to be, because I was such a smaller guy. I had to freaking make sure I had to be real physical with everybody else. So I was like, and he said, just caught on. I was like, oh, well, cool.
that's awesome. What has been? Look at Carl. Carl's chiming in already. Spit it out. What has been the best advice anyone has ever given you as far as how to proceed in the business?
Uh, Derek, yet again, Derek, because me and Derek ride together a lot. Um, when it comes to Derek, it is he'll tell me straight up. He's like, take your time when it comes to this business. Don't rush when it comes to trying to get where you want to be when it comes to wrestling. He says, enjoy the ride. It's the terminology he uses.
Okay. All right. What about some goals? Tell me about some goals you set yourself up for.
My goal, I had set kind of a long like a there's a 1 year, my 6 month goal, there's a year goal, and then there's my past a year goal.
All
And my
right.
six
Let's.
month goal is to just get better at wrestling, just be the absolute best, learn as much as I can, go to seminars, go to tryouts and trainings, go to everything, wrestle as much matches, get my reps in, and to be and get better at my craft. The year goal is to be able to be considered as a face of somebody at the local company, or go to MLW or freaking Impact or somewhere like that, or NWA, to be thought of and put on that stage. And then past that goal is, go somewhere like AEW or something like that.
Okay. All right. What states do you want to wrestle that you haven't wrestled in yet?
Well, I want to wrestle in is California,
Okay.
Maryland, because I love to go back to MCW and wrestle for MCW in Maryland. And I would also say Texas.
Texas. Have you been to New York?
I have not been to New York.
Oh, you got to come to New York, man. You got one of the probably one of the most best schools out here. It's
Okay.
Creator Pro.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that place. I got you.
Yeah, that's where MJF, Statlander, Caster. That's where they all come from.
Hmm.
Or they like to call it the AEW dungeon. That's what they call the school. Because everybody's even Pat Buck, he's a producer at AEW. He owns part of the school too.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on over here in Long
Definitely a lot
Island.
of stuff going on in New York. Goodness.
A
I
lot of
think
stuff.
MLW was in base. It was they film in Philadelphia, don't they? I think.
I believe so too. Yeah, they're close by too. And I don't know if you know them. They were on Impact, the SATs, the Maximo Brothers.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They got their own promotion up here. Wrestling is now, so
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
they're doing a show up here in December in Queens because they were doing their shows in Jersey, but now they're coming to New York. They're coming home.
Well, that's cool, then. Like
All
I didn't
right.
think about wrestling in New York City. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be great for you, man. Come out here and get some exposure out here, man.
Oh, absolutely.
I think your heel character will work out well over here.
I think so. I definitely think so, man. Especially my hero character, because I know it's funny because I feel a lot more comfortable being a heel than I do being a babyface. A couple of companies I work for, I'm a babyface, and I feel exceptionally uncomfortable when I have to go and do an intermission and mingle with the crowd. I just don't. I just don't like it. I just
It's
don't
not
like
for
it.
you.
It's not for me. Like I'm not saying that
Listen,
I'm
you're
just
in
not
good
a big
company.
crowd. I'm just not a big out in the open crowd person.
Brock
'Cause
Lesnar doesn't like to do that either, so you're in good company. All right, let's go into overseas. Would you like to go overseas somewhere?
yeah, I would take to be honest with you, UK wrestling. I would take to go to over there in UK and wrestle in UK or Japan. That'd be cool. Never been those only two places. The only wrestling I really watch is UK wrestling. That's the only ones I really just look at.
Oh,
Granted, I look at a lot of Japanese wrestling, but mainly the one I watch is stuff in the UK.
any particular companies?
WXW.
What intrigues you about that type of wrestling over there in the UK?
Physicality.
Physicality.
The
Okay. Yeah,
physicality.
it's kind of brutal.
Physicality. It's just it to me is way different than a strong shot
Japan.
that's in Japan. So I definitely feel a lot more comfortable like watching that. And I steal a couple of things when I see it too. So it's just I just I don't know. I just don't. I've never been like I said. It's definitely secondary for me when it comes to Japanese wrestling. I absolutely enjoy the UK wrestling.
Okay, maybe a Dorian Vane tour of the UK someday.
I wish. Okay, get a passport, I guess, like that. But
Does
yeah,
someone want to sponsor Dorian over there? Speak now. Hey, you never know, man. Someone could be
you never
watching
know.
this somewhere.
Exactly, you never know.
All right, tell me about a type of match you want to be in that you haven't been in yet, and why.
Last man standing match, and the reason why I want to be in a last man standing match is it's really kind of a brutal thing because one of my favorite current wrestler is Karrion Kross, but it's really more his indie stuff when he was Killer Kross.
Right.
But I really want to. I got the idea from him. Is why I bring him up. I want to have a last man standing match, and I really want the finish for the last man standing match to me unwrap my hand wraps and to put a body triangle on the person and strangle them with my hand wraps. And that's the reason why. I know it might be kind of violent, but that's the reason why I want to do the last man standing match. I just think it'd be so super cool to be able to. I think the visual of that would be awesome in the middle of the ring.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think it's just to me it's just the A, the physicality, and B, the able to do that as a finish would be wonderful.
Right. I think they've been underutilizing him a lot.
100%. I thoroughly enjoy his Killer Kross work more than I like him and his Karrion Kross. I'm not a big fan of the long hair, but no, they're not really utilizing him that well at all. Like when we went to the only one we went to SmackDown in January when they came to Memphis. The only one I popped for because we saw a bunch of guys. We saw Triple H. We saw a bunch of dudes, and it was so super cool. The only one I popped for was Killer Cross. Only one,
Awesome.
because I watched so many of his matches, and his mannerisms and his work when he was in NXT was really good. And
Absolutely.
it's just starting to, and I'm like, this is terrible how they treat him now.
Yeah, I agree. Lance Smitty says he met Killer Cross, one of the best individuals he's ever met. He spoke with him for 30 minutes.
Lucky you.
Lucky you. Lucky you,
Lucky
Smitty.
you.
Hopefully you'll get a chance to meet him and shoot the breeze with him.
That'll be great.
Being in WWE maybe for yourself. You never know. Then you go to the UK, definitely.
Definitely in the UK. That'd be super cool in the UK. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. All right, let's go into some of the stuff you like to do on your time off. What do you like to do when you're not in the wrestling business?
I usually like to. I have two little girls, so I usually like to spend time with my daughters. Or, to be honest, I'm super boring, man. Like I'll either make meals because I do a lot of meal prepping because I like to work out and I also eat a lot, and I would work out and hang out with my children.
Okay. Hold on, we got a comment for you from CJ. Dorian is an internet troll. What?
Oh, he's such a crybaby. Look
What
at
does that
CJ,
even mean?
crybaby. Oh, poor
Jason. Jason says he won't beat you up. That you're pretty awesome. Jason interrupted my interview last night. He couldn't
Who,
help
Vaughn?
himself. Yeah, Vaughn.
Oh man, Vaughn's a super cool dude. I like Vaughn. Vaughn's a cool. Vaughn's
Yeah, I like
super
that. I'm an honorary Spotlight Rebellion member.
I don't like CJ though, so
Whoa.
CJ's gonna get it one of these days.
CJ's gonna get it, man.
CJ's gonna get it one of these days. I feel so bad for him.
You're gonna be in that last man standing match.
Oh, CJ, I don't think that's for you, buddy.
What the hell, Carl?
Beat anyone up, Carl? Which clap is that? They got they all
got
look
so
alike.
many claps.
They all look alike. They all look alike. They all
Yo,
the same.
that's what I told Serena. I told her the same thing.
I don't know which one that one is. I have no idea which one Carl is. I know Harry. I know David. I think Carl might be one that had neck surgery. I think
he did. Yeah, they can do twin magic on everybody.
Oh man, it's always the outside looking in. It's like
last
night. No.
Yeah, hold on. We got Jason. When Dorian puts it all together, he's gonna go to the show. Wait and see. Okay. CJ says, "Let's go. I'll be the last man standing with Dorian. Let me kick him in the face."
Oh, CJ, you so cute. So
Jason
funny.
and Dorian are pansies. Twin magic over there.
What is going on with these claps? There's so many of them. There's 183 claps, by the way, because that's how many showed up to that watched CJ stuff. Was 183 people.
183 claps.
That's what it is. They brought the whole family. They brought out great grandmama clap with the peg leg and a glass eye.
Let me tell you, the chat's kicking up now because it wasn't kicking up in the beginning. This is how it normally is when MCW's in the house. CJ's got another comment for you. I second that.
How you bought 183 claps? I agree.
We are the wrestling family of the South.
I mean, I think wrestling is really a strong term that you do, but hey, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever gets you there. Oh my goodness.
Claps are in it tonight, man. All of them. So who's your match?
I hope all 183 show up tonight.
Who are you wrestling this Friday night at MCW?
I don't know who the unlucky person is going to be. I don't know who's going to wrestle on Saturday. I go up there and whoever they have on the chopping block is who I usually end up having to deal with. You
just come in, wreck everyone, and leave.
There we go. Leave Dorian alone.
Leave Dorian alone. I'm gonna ground you.
Yes, Allison X. That's my manager. One of the best managers in the business. She's clap affiliated without being clap affiliated, so that's good for her.
The clappy feet about to get going. What the
heck? Him and his uncle Harry does this weird little jig dance, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I called it happy feet, but he ended up coining its clappy feet, which is
Flappy feet.
the most ridiculous thing ever. I was like, come on. Like, oh my goodness. What are we
Yeah,
doing?
he wants you to leave CJ alone, Carl.
Leave CJ alone. Go tell your son to leave me alone. Goodness.
Yikes, man! You got your hands full with the Clap family over there, man.
Anybody has their hands full with the Clap family. Shit. The lady that probably worked at the local Walgreens is part of the Clap family, probably.
Before we get to the next question, hold on. All the Claps talk the same. Also, I just shake my head like I understand what they're saying.
They're all built the same. Like I'm telling you, all of them are built the same. All of them are built like shotgun houses. It's really weird. Just
twin
straight up and down.
Twin magic over there. All right, if you had to pick AEW or WWE or Impact, which one would best fit your style to be in?
AEW or Impact. I can't really tell, but well, mostly AEW to be honest with you, because they get a lot more freedom in AEW than they do in WWE. Granted, WWE will pay more, but well, maybe they'll pay more. But,
maybe.
Yeah, AEW for sure, because not only can you wrestle for AEW, but you can also they probably will show up like once or twice a week, show up on TV one week, and the next week you might be gone for a couple of weeks. But you can also wrestle indies.
Right.
So that's the super cool part about it, I think, because you're still free to wrestle that one show, either it be Collision, Rampage, or Dynamite, but you also can work whenever else you want to work at, which I think is super cool. So I'll probably pick AEW.
Okay, I think they got health insurance for you guys too.
Oh,
I believe AEW takes care of the health issues.
I think they do have health insurance.
Yeah, because they're the owner, Tony and his dad and all that. They have the football, so they got the health insurance package to them.
Definitely AEW then.
That's right.
Definitely AEW.
Although even though Dorian would be on Dark Elevation. Whoa, CJ. Yikes.
CJ. I don't know if he's even old enough to use a computer or anything like that. CJ, you tell your mom I'm gonna get you grounded. You better stop.
Does he need to be monitored on his computer use?
He definitely needs parental advisories on his stuff. Parental controls for sure.
Right.
He should be on YouTube Kids. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Oh man, the whole Clap family is gonna come after you, man.
You know what? You know what's funny? If they all do, I'm definitely gonna lose that one because it's 183 of them. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm sure Jason will back you up though. Jason won. Oh look, he said YouTube Kids is insane. All these Claps, man. All right. Geez, where can we go next after the Claps? Ruin my train of thought right now. Tell me about some of the promotions you've worked for. Which one do you want to work for that you haven't worked in
yet? The ones I have worked for in the local area, of course, is EPW, APW, MCW, of course. I did a little stint in Memphis Wrestling. Okay. And I'm also haven't debuted yet, but I'm supposed to be a part of 901 Wrestling here soon. I haven't debuted. They're trying to work me in, but 901 Wrestling as well.
Okay. Allison says all these Claps y'all don't even know.
She definitely will know from experience. Goodness.
There's more. There's more. Yes.
The one I definitely would like to go up to would be, like I said, the before I go to the bigger name ones, definitely would be, of course, Impact, NWA, or Impact, MLW. There we go.
What about? Have you heard of CZW?
I heard of CZW.
Yeah, they're up in Maryland.
If I remember CZW correctly, it was Combat Zone Wrestling when they do all the professional light tubes and everything else. Where Adam Cole used to wrestle for them, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a big deathmatch guy. That's not really my bag.
He did, yeah. They do other stuff, but yeah, they got a lot of deathmatch stuff. Yeah. Well, so tell me, why not deathmatch for you?
It's not because of the violence or anything like that. I just never been a big fan of the. I'm a big fan of storytelling, and I don't really get that a whole lot when I see death matches. I'm also a big fan of actually like heel and babyface type of thing, and I don't really see that a whole lot in death matches. Like I don't get that
vibe.
that vibe from it. Yeah.
Okay. Look at what Carl said. You ready for this one?
Oh Lord.
You're a clap by injection.
By injection. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but that's probably my. I guess it's 184 claps now.
Yikes. That's a bad deal. That's a bad deal, Dorian.
I guess it's 184 now. I didn't want to be a clap, but all right.
That would be a bad deal, man. I'd stay away from that one. All right, man. Dorian, man, thank you for coming on. I seem to my FCW was, man. I'm just having a great time with it. Let me tell you.
I can imagine. Good.
Oh man. Hopefully, man, one day I get to go down there. I'm looking at sometime early next year to head down there and do a show. Hopefully,
hopefully it'll be a last man standing match between me and CJ if you come down.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely like to see you. Here we go. Look at this comment.
Alice, right? Oh, you're trying to be funny, Carl. That's funny. Oh, I get what he's saying now. Okay.
It's still a bad deal, Dorian.
It's always a bad deal when you're dealing with a clap. It's always a bad deal.
Dorian, man, let's go over what you're doing again this weekend before we say goodbye.
Yeah, this weekend I
got
wrestling
Fall Brawl.
Yeah, Greenville, Mississippi at the Fall Brawl with Alpha Wrestling Association. And this Friday night, I'm wrestling in MCW in Osceola, Arkansas.
There you go. And on the 22nd, they got a benefit.
Yeah, 22nd, they have a benefit.
El Loco.
For El Loco, yeah.
For El Loco, yes. Look at that card right there. MCW, man. Oh, man. Love you guys at MCW, man. Dorian, tell everybody where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Facebook, just Dorian Vane on Facebook, and on Instagram is Dorian Vane 556 _556.
Am I following you on both?
I don't think you follow me on both. I think you follow me on Facebook. You friends with me on Facebook, I think, and then I don't think so on Instagram.
I just followed you.
There we go. Hooray.
That's right. Awesome, man. Appreciate you coming on, Dorian.
Thank you for having me.
I lost you for a second.
Hold
on. I got a couple things of my own to plug. This Saturday, I will be at New Evolution Wrestling as Walter Diaz takes on Anthony Gango for that 5th anniversary homecoming. New Evolution this Saturday in Queens. Come check us out. I will be there for that event. Also want to check out my friends on Saturday, November 4th at Titan Championship Wrestling for Mount Olympus. They're going to have a huge battle royal. It's going to be massive. And the new champion, PJ Savage, my brother, will be there in action as well. Other than that, I have BPW's Insanity coming up on November 11th, where I am proud to sponsor the one and only Brittany Brooks, who's making waves all over the United States and just captured that Dream Wave inaugural championship. So congratulations to Brittany. But before that event, we will be at the big event coming up on November 11th in Brentwood here in Long Island, New York. You're not going to want to miss that event, as we will be there, and other favorites from AEW and all over will be at this event. And I am soon to announce my next guest at my table, hopefully by the end of the week, waiting for the graphic to be done. I got a lot of stuff going up, Dorian. A lot of stuff.
Goodness.
And just so that we can make Carl happy for all 100 and whatever amount of claps there are. Any information for MCW, go to mcwlegacycontinues@gmail. Email them for any information for donations, the anti-bullying crusade that we're all a part of, and shows coming up. Make sure you get in touch with MCW. Dorian, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, man.
Oh, everybody else, I will be back at 7 with Shaquille Faison for ECPW. Dorian, just hang out for a second. Everybody else, I'll see you soon.